What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Saturday Q&A. As always, we're taking the questions straight from the phone. Post my story on Instagram and answer straight from the phone, like I said. So if you want your questions answered, be sure to keep an eye out on my story on Instagram. I do Q&As pretty regularly, and more often than not, they are for YouTube. So get your questions in there if you want them answered. Without further ado, let's hop right into it and jump off. All right. What is the best part of working with Ben? Ben being Ben Chow, my coach. Best part of working with Ben is it was a coaching relationship that was born from a friendship, not the other way around. I've said this before. I think the most important thing, with a coach, once you've established the fact that you trust his knowledge base and that he knows what he's doing, is really jiving and getting along on a personal level. You spend so much time together, you talk so much, there's so much back and forth. It has to be someone that you get along with. And for Ben to have been someone that I was good friends with before we ever thought about him coaching me, it's been a very cool dynamic for the friendship to have existed before the coaching relationship. So it's awesome. It's a blessing having him in my corner. Really excited to see what we do at the Olympia this year. All right. Favorite side delt exercise. It's going to be that chest supported cuffed Y raise that you've seen me do in all of my push sessions. I do it on my push A and my push B sessions. So if you want to see the exercise I'm talking about, go check out one of those videos. Can I enjoy bourbon in the off season and still make gains? I know bodybuilders that are alcoholics. Is it optimal? Absolutely not. Yeah, so everything's in moderation. There's a time for discipline, there's a time for, being a little looser. At the end of the day, it's how serious do you want to take it? I personally treat my off seasons like prep, when it comes to the fact that I'm not drinking alcohol or doing anything that impedes my recovery. Um, alcohol is a big, big, big one in terms of impeding recovery for 2 or 3 days after you drink. So, definitely not on the menu for me, but I know I am extreme and I know a lot of people really enjoy being social and drinking. So, like I said, time and place for everything. Yes, I do believe you can grow having, like a couple drinks a night a week. Um, that's probably not going to affect your health. Like I said, I know some alcoholic bodybuilders. That's definitely not good for you, but yeah, moderation's key. Do you drink calorie-free drinks in prep? Yes, absolutely. Um, I have a good feeling Ben's gonna make me stop drinking artificial sweeteners 2 weeks out this year, so that'll be interesting. But I typically drink, 2 or 3 Powerade or Gatorade Zeros a day in prep. Those are my thing. I like them. They keep me satiated. I get all my fluids in. So yeah. Next up, when is the new merchandise dropping? So very soon. We actually just did a run of t-shirts and a run of hats. We're going to get those uploaded onto the site sooner than later. Wanted to get all my ducks in a row with the apparel because I recently moved over to a new company helping me out with them. And, once we have the ball rolling, we're going to have consistent stock, do consistent drops. And I just want to have all the back end, really in order before we do that. So soon is the answer to that question. All right. Tips on growing my chest. Advanced bodybuilder. So regardless of your, you know, where you're at in your training journey, whether you're beginner or advanced, the best way to make a muscle grow is to, load it optimally and hit failure sets in the 10 to 12 rep range, in my opinion. So, you know, if you look at training your chest from an anatomical standpoint, originates here, inserts there. Basically, all we're trying to do is get that insertion as close to the origin as possible with the exercises that you're doing. So, what I see with a lot of people whenever their chests are lagging body part is they're way too concerned with the amount of weight that they're using, and they're using a lot more tricep and front delt than they are chest. So, without knowing more about your situation, I'd say really look into, the form and the exercise selection you're on. If you're looking for exercise suggestions, I would say, cable flies, cable presses, dumbbell presses, Machine presses on machines that align well, like the primes or the hammer presses are okay. So, like I said, the more important than exercise selection is going to be, really using a proper range of motion and really training the target muscle, which is your chest. All right. What do you think about some of the new guys like Andrew Jack and Crizzo? I think it's awesome that there's a lot of, new blood coming into bodybuilding. It causes, a lot of excitement anytime, someone who seems legit, coming over from another organization or competing for the first time. I know for a fact the Texas Pros this weekend, and that's where we're gonna see Andrew's debut. I don't know what Crizzo's talking about doing. I haven't really kept up with it that much. Obviously, both of them have freaky physiques. Both of them have, pro level physiques, in my opinion. At the end of the day, I've seen enough pictures that make people look like absolute freakazoids, and then you see them next to a good pro lineup and they kind of disappear. So withholding final judgments until I see them in a pro lineup. So yeah. All right. So this is for my progressive overload people, and that is what to do when you hit a wall slash tie on reps on progressive overload. So, this is a asking the question, kind of in a vacuum, and you can't ask it in a vacuum. So, if there is an exercise that, last time I did, X amount of weight for 10 reps, and then this session I did X the same weight for 10 reps again. I wasn't able to get that 11th one. It's not like I'm gonna take that exercise out and throw the baby out with the bathwater. Whenever I'm looking at my logbook, whenever I'm, making considerations for an exercise selection change, more often than not, it comes down to, okay, this movement pattern's starting to, cause aches and pains here or there, or I've gotten to the point where the load has gotten high enough that I think it's, safer for me to go to a different exercise where I have a lot of runway with, and, really build up progressively on that exercise. So, like I said, if I have a session, last session I did 10, this session that I did 10, next session I'm gonna do my best to do 11. That next session, if I get 10, I'm gonna take a look at, maybe doing a, back off set with, a little lighter weight and doing a little higher rep range, or I'm gonna do something to change the training stimulus. But yeah, if you're not if you're taking care of everything that you should be, especially in an off-season setting, there really is no reason that those numbers should be stalling out for any, length of time. If they were, I'd consider looking at variables outside of training first, like your sleep and your nutrition and what you're doing for recovery, honestly. So, yeah. Take one more and then we'll call this one. All right. So this one is a good one. Muscle imbalances. Keep upping pounds or reps. Same pounds until the other side catches up. So something that I've dealt with a lot during my bodybuilding is having, unequal strength, side to side coming from, the shoulder surgery I had to have 2018. So what I found to work best in terms of like evening things up or, like regardless if it's a pressing exercise or, like even like a leg exercise, because I've been a little uneven in the past. And that is, knowing which side is the weakest side, starting with that side, getting your extra forced rep on that side, and then when you go to the strong side, just matching reps and then stopping. So, when you first start it, you might be getting like a 10-1 on the weak side, 10 reps and one forced rep. And then on the other side, you can bang out 11, no problem. And you probably could do like 13 or 14. That's okay. As weeks go on, that weak arm is going to start catching up to that strong arm, and it's going to get to the point where they'll even out eventually. So, like I said, I would just start with the weak arm. If there's like more than like a 2 or 3 rep discrepancy, that is when I might consider A, taking a look at making sure everything biomechanically is right side to side. And then B, once you've confirmed that, I'd probably consider adding in, maybe an extra set on an exercise or two that you're doing unilaterally just for that weak side. All right, guys. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to subscribe. Like I said, we're going to do our best to give y'all a Q&A every single Saturday, answering questions directly from my Instagram stories. So if you want your question answered, be sure to follow me and keep an eye out on my stories. As always, appreciate y'all. Enjoy doing these. See y'all next time.